John, I mean, how did it feel going to work every day with so many powerhouse females around you?
Yeah,
tell
John.
Me.
Oh, I love
yeah, John, tell me.
it.
The premise of this holds so much power. Why is this a story that needs to be told, but especially right now, given the times we're living in?
Yeah, well, we're so aligned with a lot that is unfolding within this story. I mean, I love it because it's set in a kind of, it's sold as it is a sci-fi story, but it's tonally really interesting because it's very grounded. It's very grounded in what feels very close to what we're experiencing. It felt important to me because it's about inclusivity and equality. And you see a lot of girls and women coming into a sense of power. And it's very inspirational to see that. And it's really interesting to see a lot of responses from men. We're all born into a very patriarchal world. And you see these, particularly Josh Charles, who plays a politician that I work with, and he's so threatened by it. He just, and it's a real thing. I think a lot of people can feel like it's going to detract from their own sense of power if someone else is gaining power. But,
I think
ultimately,
that's just Josh. Josh has a problem with it. It's not even his character. No, kidding.
To lift each other up. We're all powerful, and the electricity that these girls experience is really just a metaphor for the power that we all have innately.
Oh my gosh, John, I mean, how did it feel going to work every day with so many powerhouse females around you?
Yeah,
tell
John.
Me.
Oh, I love
yeah, John, tell me.
Bring it. I mean, the directors were all women, the producers were all women, the writers, the leads, and the role reversal. It was all fun. I mean, it was the most collaborative, nurturing, and great environment I've ever been a part of. I mean, it was really a lot of fun to go to work every day.
I loved it, but I hated urban docs.
Well, you gotta hate urban docs.
Urban docs.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to hate it. It's supposed
okay,
to be
good.
8chan and 4chan, yeah.
But it got me thinking.
It represents, how
the dark web, yeah.
Yeah, the threat.
Yes.
Of the imbalance of power.
Yeah, the incel,
the interbalance of power, I should say. It has been imbalanced for centuries, and there's a potential to come into balance, and certain people are very threatened by it.
Right. So they become sort of these white supremacist, misogynistic websites that get young men and grab their minds and twist them.
Yeah, we got to be careful with the media that we're consuming and just the importance of that. And I loved that was a part of this story. It was like a big part as well.
Yeah, media intelligence is an important thing that not everybody has, but it's hard to teach.
I think so many women, both young and older, are fighting, right? We're fighting for our voice. We're fighting for equality. We're fighting to be seen. We're fighting for our power. And I think that this show encapsulates that. And also one of the things that's near and dear to my heart as far as just women in abusive situations. And I find that in this show, they're able to harness power in a new way. And so my hope too is that any woman that's feeling victimized right now will just, really tap into their own personal agency and break out of being the victim and become the victor.
Yeah, that was so beautiful.
Victim to victor. That's so, so beautiful. Ali, sorry to interrupt. I just, I couldn't help but notice just how amazing it was to see everyone on the carpet yesterday. But of course, you were rocking a red handprint on your face. I would love if you could take a moment, explain to us why that was important to you. And for those that don't know what it means as well.
Happily, yes. The red handprint was significant to No More Stolen Sisters. It is about missing and murdered Indigenous women. Indigenous women are 10 times more likely to go missing, and the cases are most often not followed up on. I'm so truly grateful to be a part of this project. And also we were able to film in Vancouver, and I was introduced to the movement there. And so I figured on the carpet, as I was surrounded by so many incredible women, that I felt safe enough and proud to bring light to this important topic.
No, thank you so much. I hope shooting in Vancouver as a Canadian treated you well as well.
Yes, it's true that Canadians are very friendly.
Yeah,
it's very true. They were great. It was wonderful.
I love that. Yes, we're still holding it down. Halle, I loved your character so much. I love the relationship she develops with her inner voice, who helps to guide her. Who is that force for you in real life, that person in your life that is like your North Star?
Oh, wow. For me, I'm a very
me and my mom, we're so close. So I would definitely say like my mom in a way. Yeah, I would say my mom, like if I were to be, I don't know, like away from her, it's like I would hear her in my head in a way. If I was about to get into like a bad situation, I would just hear her voice inside my head telling her, no, don't do that in a way. So I would say it was my mom. Yeah, because we're like two peas in a pod. Yeah.
So sweet.
Heather, I'd love to start with you. I mean, the premise of this is just, I mean, it's so powerful. Why is this a story that needs to be told, especially right now?
I know, it's exactly what you said right now. I think there's an urgency about a movement around women, and there's a kind of like a stirring in our guts that things need to shift. And it feels like it's happening globally, not just kind of, what I love about the show is that it follows like the history of the women all over the globe, right? And how power looks differently in each kind of scenario. So I think there is an urgency and a need for this show. So what a privilege to kind of represent the Nigerian arc, the female Nigerian arc of the show. So yeah.
And also just off the back of that, like it feels like, especially right now, post Me Too, it feels like there is kind of a backlash. And, like we thought we were making progress with the Me Too movement, but it seems, especially right now when it feels like there's like a full-on war on women in politics and legislation everywhere, especially in the Western world right now. It feels, especially topical. And Jane Featherstone, one of our exec producers, said yesterday that it feels like this show is the backlash to the backlash. And I couldn't agree with that more. So yeah, I think it definitely is, especially current, especially relevant. It's a shame that that's the case, but we're here and we're glad to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah, I think it's really powerful when art, of course, entertains, but then there's also a message and maybe even a conversation that happens after 100%. The art is consumed. And Heather, I know that's something that you can relate to with your personal projects, your art, your photography. I mean, how much did this resonate with you on a personal level, especially given your other creative passions?
What a question. Toheed will know. Sometimes I'll be on set and I'll be like, I just want to do the women proud. Like it meant so much to me. For me, it's bigger than an acting role. This is like why I want to like make work, why I exist, something to challenge, entertain, but really to ask really important questions. I mean, as a dark-skinned Black woman, to talk about power in such a really beautiful and articulate way, and into this journey of like transforming trauma into something really like healing and self-empowering is like what I want to see. So for me, it just chimes with everything about me.
Yeah, and also to add to the back of that, like Heather's art like transcends acting. It goes into photography work, it goes into theater work, and genuinely like what I see in her is like it transcends acting. It's like this is an artist, and this is an artist that's making art, and so it could be in any medium. Right now, it's in television, but yeah, like she brings that heart to everything that she does. And I know because I love it.
And we need content to absorb that uplifts us and fills us with good. And in this, Urban Docs is the polar opposite of that, spreading such hate. I mean, what does that speak to the importance of what we consume on the internet, on social media, and why is that an important part of the story? Like
we're at a stage right now where like I'm even getting it on my feeds on social media where like some of the people with the biggest platforms are almost entirely devoted to spreading misogynistic rhetoric, and it's important because like the media is insanely powerful. I think that's the journey that my character Tunde goes on of like figuring out how much power he has with his camera. But you're right, like young men, especially right now, are seeing some incredibly misogynistic stuff on their social media feeds, and they don't even have control over it. It just comes up when you scroll. And so I think it's just as important now for there to be other pieces of media out there that spreads the opposite narrative and empowers as opposed to breaks down,
Like the video? Then hit the button, or better yet, drop us a comment. Then check out our latest videos here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button here for more celebrity interviews and entertainment news.